But right. Now we go back to Netflix for our final film of this evening, and that is Sharon. You're going to take us through The Wonder.
Yes, The Wonder. It is set in 19th century Ireland, post potato famine. It where the main character we see the eyes through is a nurse played by Florence Pugh, and she has gone in to be an observer of a wonder child. They believe she's possibly a living saint. There's a young girl, aged, I think she's 12 or 13 in this, where she hasn't eaten for 3 or 4 months, and yet she's still hale and hearty, and yet no one has seen any food pass her lips. And before they declare her to be a living saint, the local sort of towns guild, made up of like the local doctor, the priest, the local landlord, dignitaries of the town, they have called in these two observers. One is the nurse, played by Florence Pugh, and the other one is a nun. So there is a religious and there is a secular to oversee, to see whether this child really is a miraculous child. Because they say, how are you staying alive? And she said, I am being fed manna from heaven. That is how I am alive. But no food passes her lips. And so the nurse and the nun are set to watch her 24 hours a day. And they basically check her to make sure she's not hiding any food. They check her room, her bed, her clothes, the whole everywhere around her. They check her to make sure that she is not sneaking any food. And to see whether this child really is a wonder child, whether she is a saint, that she is someone who's been sent by God after the famine to say that, we've had, I'm giving you this miracle child. And half of the people believe her. And so the doctor is saying, played by Toby Jones, and Kieran Hines plays, I don't know if he plays the local priest or the local judge, but he's there as well. And the doctor's saying, wow, maybe this is a new, she's getting energy from of stuff from the air. Maybe she's she's transmuting this sort of things so that she's sustaining herself. And the nurse is saying, you're a doctor. We're interested in science. You want to know the science, not what. And so in some ways he's more credulous than the priest is. And the priest is like, something's going on here. So they are basically trying to find out what's going on with this girl. And as the story progresses, you do see this girl getting weaker and weaker and weaker. You have a question, Tosin?
No, it wasn't a question, it was a comment. I was just going to say that I don't think that there could be a better match of, as far as we're concerned, reviewer to film. Because when I actually heard the plot from this film, this was before the film was released, I was like, hasn't Sharon already reviewed this? I'm pretty sure I could hear, I could so hear you talking about this film in your voice that I thought you had already reviewed it on a previous show.
No, probably not. But so, and then we meet another, Tom Burke appears. He's a journalist from London. He's Irish by birth, and he left Ireland after the famine to work in London as a journalist. So he's come back to basically report on this story as well. So, and him and Florence Pugh sort of make a connection, and then they try to find out what's happened with this girl. And so as the story progresses, elements of the past, a lot of the characters, a lot of the secrets they've been concealing become revealed, and you understand some of the causes and effects of the famine, as well as what this child means to the community, having this miracle amongst them in Ireland at this time. And so, it unfolds and sort of secrets are revealed, and you do find out, a little bit more about all of the characters as it progresses. So it was an interesting film. I quite liked it. It's quite bleak in its places because you can get two different types of Ireland on film. You can get the dee diddly leprechaun skipping about.
Wild Mountain Time.
Yeah. Dee diddly. So you get that Ireland.
Michael Flatley.
Gerard Butler.
And all that sort of stuff. And then you also get this slightly bleak, where heaven and earth meets. You get the feeling that that you scratch the surface and there's sort of something is supernatural almost under there, where it's sort of like there's a thinning between these two realms. And so this is all heading towards that sort of more the spiritual sort of side of Ireland, where there's a thinning between these sort of two worlds. So if there was going to be a miracle child, it's possible in this environment that she could be something special. That we do begin to, the truth is revealed as the film goes on, and things that were kept hidden get revealed, and some things that should be kept hidden still are. I don't want to give any spoilers. So
what did you think?
I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I thought it's the sort of film I like. It's sort of thoughtful. There's nuances. It was written by the lady, I can't remember her surname. Is it Emma Donoghue? But she wrote Room as well.
Oh yeah, Room. Oh yeah. Ooh,
so you know that
talk about bleak.
There are bleak elements into it as well in this story. But I liked it a lot. I thought it was well played. It was literary. It was well shot. It had that feeling of otherness about it. So I really enjoyed it. I'd give it a 4.
Oh, 4 stars. 4 stars for The Wonder. And I think once you said Florence Pugh, that was all the recommendation that Sean needed.
Yes.
There's one I think of it. There is a strange device at the beginning and at the end. Because at the beginning, you see a film set, all scaffolding and wooden floors. And then as this camera pans round, you then pan into the stage of the train carriage, which you first see Florence Pugh travelling in, and then you get drawn into the actual story. Then at the end, the last scene, it pans out, and then you're back on the sort of film set again, and it's sort of like back to reality. So it's sort of booktailed by these 2 scenes of like, this is not real, this is a film, like a Shakespearean play.
Oh, very Brechtian.
Yeah.
So I didn't quite know what that was about. But it made it interesting. You suddenly sort of feel disconnected at the beginning. You're like going, "Oh, I feel uneasy." And so and he says maybe they want to create that sort of uneasiness, thinking, "Okay, this is not familiar territory. The way you're doing this," and then you get drawn into the film. But it's only at the end that you remembered again, because then you get drawn into the film, you watch the film, and then suddenly it's like, "Hey, we're back out into the real world again!" Ha ha ha! And so it sort of creates that sense of slightly uneasiness, but. Apart from that, which I didn't really get why, maybe it was just to create that sort of slight sense of disconnection, that you're entering into a different world here, as she was entering into a different world when she travelled from her home in England to Ireland. I don't know. You can probably read more into it. But that was interesting, but a bit sort of slightly unnerving. But that still didn't take away from the film. It just added another edge of, what's going on?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think that has to do with the director. The director did this because he's a bit more out there. But anyway, I'm gonna have to because I can feel myself confusing him with another director already. So I'm gonna stop talking.